Gen Z has had enough. A recent Adobe survey of 5,500 workers found that 56% of those ages 18 to 24 say they are planning to switch jobs in the next year. Research from Microsoft and Bankrate backs this up, reporting that 54% and 77% of Gen Zs, respectively, are thinking about quitting. Though statements do not always line up with actions, there may be reason to take these workers seriously. A record 4 million Americans quit their jobs in April, twice the number who quit in April of the previous year. An additional 3.9 million quit in June. Anthony Klotz, a business professor at Texas A&M University, has deemed this the Great Resignation, a term that has caught fire in recent months. Many employees only stay at their jobs because the costs of leaving are higher than the costs of staying, he explained, and this ratio has shifted for many workers over the past year. Klotz said the costs of staying have risen due to burnout, while the costs of quitting have decreased due to unexpected pandemic savings cushions. How can leaders avoid this exodus? How can they show their younger employees, in particular, that they are valued, and that they have room to grow? How can they make their companies somewhere Gen Z workers will not want to leave? After discovering that nearly half of America's workforce is job searching or keeping an eye out for new opportunities, researchers from Gallup concluded that the Great Resignation is really the Great Discontent. Rather than being an issue with pay or industry, the researchers said, the pandemic changed the way people work and how they view work. Reversing the tide in an organization requires managers who care, who engage, and who give workers a sense of purpose. That last sentence is of particular importance, as the Adobe survey found that half of enterprise employees would like to spend more time at work pursuing their passions, 53%. It is up to leaders to provide that space, especially for their younger workers. It's like this fluctuation in social expectations of Gen Z, explained Jason Delgondio, a professor of communications and social influence at Temple University. When you live through the first black president, I think it's going to affect how you perceive race relations. Gen Zs also lived through the legalization of same-sex marriage and lived through the first and second iteration of Black Lives Matter. Along with the climate catastrophe, that's a lot to deal with. Due to their lived experiences, Gen Z workers expect both meaning and purpose at work, and leaders must figure out how to give it to them. As Ryan Roslansky, CEO of LinkedIn, wrote, it's clear that this #Great Reshuffle conversation is not just about how we work, but why we work. It's about employers too, as they innovate to attract and retain talent with a new level of focus on employee fulfillment, which, ultimately, will help drive better business outcomes.